Well, hey, you got it?
Yeah, it went through okay.
Cool. Well, how's your day been so far, sir?
Oh, not too bad. Did you get a new tattoo?
2 years ago, I got my arm did up a little bit.
Oh, I guess in the past, I don't know if you had long sleeve shirt on or something. I just never noticed it.
I mean, it's only been 2 years, but yeah, I mean, it covers up pretty well under the sleeve. Um,
Looks pretty cool.
Thanks. It didn't hurt too bad, except for like when you get right to like the armpit
Yeah.
inside there, I was crying for mercy at that rate. Um, but did you see Frankenhooker again last night?
Yeah, I just reviewed it again to get some last things I wanted to write down about it. So I think like the last one we did the Crackoon, I think this was it was a decent movie. I was entertained. So far we've been 2 for 2, I think.
Okay, well, so some background information about the film. It was directed by Frank Henenlotter, and the principal photographer was Robert M. Baldwin. And I think the film was a lot of fun at certain points. However, there was like an eerie grief that I couldn't help but feel for the character. You know,
Uh-huh.
his fiance dies. She's she's killed by a remote
Yeah,
control lawnmower.
it was a really weird death. That was the first time I heard of anyone getting killed by a lawnmower. But
Well, the second time that happens is actually in the most recent Final Destination movie. That very same thing
oh,
happens.
oh, okay, I haven't seen that yet. So
If you have to wonder where they got the idea, maybe from Frankenhooker, who knows?
yeah, they probably did because well, this made in 1990, right? So
It's a
that's
90s movie. I can't remember the exact year to be
yeah,
honest.
I think it was 1990. So it was made quite a while ago.
And the character Jeffrey, the main guy, who my girlfriend said I resemble, I disagree. He says that she was reduced to a tossed human salad. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's pretty gross. I was getting New Jersey vibes, but I was mistaken. This does take place in Manhattan, and uh,
But
yeah,
East Coast for sure.
East Coast for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So he used to be he was a medical student who he got kicked out of three different schools. He's got this laboratory in his mom's
Yeah,
basement.
well, when you're taking a drill and put it in your head like he does, maybe that's part of the reason he got kicked out. But
Yeah, maybe that one made me uncomfortable. My God.
yeah,
Let's see here.
but if it's giving you like this superpower or whatever the reason he's doing it for, I guess it was working for him. But
Well,
until the end. But I mean, we'll get to the end of the movie later on. But the ending was not an ending. If I was Jeff, I would not want that ending to be me. I'll just say that. But
the a scene that sticks out to me is he's really missing his fiance and he wants to bring her back to
mhm.
life. He misses her. So he's not going to date anyone. His mom's telling him you need to leave the house so you can meet a woman. And he's like, I've already got my woman. And so there's a scene where he's dining with her decapitated head and he's pouring
Yeah.
wine in her mouth. And then he's eating a slice of cheese pizza. And that for me, that's true cinema. You got that little cheese slice. Was there anything that any scene or line that kind of stood out to you?
Well, just he has that purple liquid going in the freezer that's preserving all this stuff. But I just thought about this sort of like a overall thing. So he's finding these hookers because he's gonna like um rebuild his fiance. So I thought about myself, okay, if I was doing this, would I want an exact replica? Or would I say, well, maybe I can add some improvements? So, when he's like putting her all back together and he's got like that whole big pile of tits and stuff, I just thought about like what would I do in that situation? Would I try to get all the body parts as close to the original, or would I just add the enhancements?
And I'm pretty sure our main character Jeffrey was adding some enhancements. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, I'm just saying for myself, like if I was doing this. But
Sure.
I mean, I would never do this, but I'm just saying if I was stuck in
If you're
that
taking it that
situation,
far,
you
sure.
know. But I just
Uh,
thought, like he's getting these hookers and stuff, and like he's doing these measurements and everything. Like I remember one where he had like that measuring tape and he's going around the chick's legs. So he was trying to get that exact as close as he could, I suppose.
so one common motif we've had through these, this is our second movie we've watched and reviewed together here. There's always some level of illegal substance involved.
Right,
Not
the
with
crack
us.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he cooks up some super crack to make
yeah,
hookers explode.
right. So that was kind of interesting, but at least the crack this time it was white. It looked like I said, I never seen crack in person, just in TV shows and stuff. So this looked closer to what um crack realistically looks at than in the last one that was orange and stuff. But so I think they got that one closer to what it really looks like. But that was an interesting idea. These hookers are blowing up, and that one scene, the one hooker's like, "Oh, it's getting so hot! It's so hot like this," and then they blow up. So it was a interesting way to get the parts um, of the hookers. Like he just blows them up and then collects the parts. So
Now, well, he does say his exact quote. He goes, "I can make you the centerfold goddess of the century, but I need the right parts."
yeah,
That was his poetic line. And what was funny, there's a lot of unsaid good bits in the movie. There's a scene where he puts all of the limbs, these discarded limbs from the explosion, he puts them in a garbage bags, and then he throws them into his trunk. He leaves the trunk open, so he's driving home, and then the bag of limbs are just sitting in the open trunk as he pulls
yeah,
up. And we were like, oh, that's good. And then there was like a severed foot. So Jeffrey goes, "Oh my God, bunions!" And so he starts like
yeah,
shaving that
yeah. I
foot off.
remember that part. Yeah, he starts taking that chisel thing to it. Yeah.
But what would your opinion be? I would say this was a more fun film to watch beyond Crackoon.
Yeah, I think, but again, sort of like the last one, you're going into it knowing, okay, this is a satire. You're not going into it with this mindset, okay, this is going to be a serious movie. So you're just going in thinking this is going to be a fun, good time. And I think it was. And even that Zorro the Pimp, that was an interesting character too. It was just and I think even I guess we could talk about the ending now. With him ended up having all the woman parts onto his head. I think that was like a really crazy ending. So like I said earlier, I don't think if this is like real life somehow, I'd rather be dead than be reincarnated with all woman parts like that. But
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
just that's just me though.
Yeah. I would probably not know what would that even feel like? That's gotta
Yeah.
be insane. But they did a good job. They didn't give her enough screen time, I think. We were noticing it was like there were 20 minutes left when she was finally reanimated into this character,
Right.
and she just starts attacking everybody.
And I don't know if they had planned on the film being longer or if they had like they got the movie done and then the film company said you got to cut a lot of stuff out. Maybe that's what happened. Um yeah, I'm not sure, but
Perhaps.
but overall, like I said, I think it was a fun movie. I would probably watch this one again sometime.
Yeah, me too. Me too. A lot more tits than I thought there'd be, admittedly.
Yeah, there was sure a big pile when he was putting her together. So that was kind of funny.
Heads up, if you're like a kid, you probably don't want to watch this movie with your parents.
Yeah, but yeah, probably not. This is one you want to watch when they're not home.
Well, overall, I mean, this is a fun Halloween movie. I'd probably give it a good, 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I might even go seven. Because I get the comedy. It's kind of like this dark comedy, but that's my kind of stuff. So I would say seven. I go up to seven on this one.
Ooh, well, this is a good find, Jeremy. Thanks for suggesting it.
Yep. And to everyone that's watching out on YouTube, what our goal is to just bring, we're not in support of the big Hollywood blockbusters. We just try to get films that are lesser known and get them out there for people to enjoy. So that's the basis of our channel here.
Yeah. And well, hopefully next week we can take a look at the movie Basket Case, which was
Right.
another
So
one.
that's the director's, that was his original film. So the budget on this one was 2.5 million. Um, but in his first one, he only had a budget of 35,000, and he had to use like 16 millimeter film. So not much to work with, but I think what he had, he really utilized to his biggest advantage. But that'll be for next week.
Cool. Well, I hope you have a great week, Jeremy. It was a pleasure.
Okay, you too.
God bless.
Okay, till next time.